Angels Overseas documents the experience of one American who stepped outside his comfort zone and traveled to another country for major surgery, a double knee replacement. This story details every phase of Bob's experience: the knee pain that is slowly eroding his quality of life, his limited treatment options in the United States, and his family's reaction to his decision to travel overseas for surgery. Angels Overseas exposes a broken U.S. healthcare system, where the price of care is too high for many Americans to pay, and the quality of services is not always up to par. That's why more and more Americans are turning to medical tourism, a viable alternative that provides valuable options for patients, insurance companies, and employers looking for better access and affordability. Bob and his wife Linda live in Tavares, a small town near Orlando, Florida. These high school sweethearts have been married for nearly 38 years and have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. Linda is a practicing nurse, and Bob started his own flooring business around 12 years ago. He works alongside his son Jason every day. This is Bob's story. Laying tile is a worthy occupation, but one that requires long hours of crouching and kneeling. After doing just that day in and day out for more than a decade, Bob is starting to feel the effects of manual labor. His knees are slowly deteriorating, and the grinding of bone on bone is causing him excruciating, immobilizing pain. He's also growing increasingly bow-legged. The pain makes it very difficult for Bob to do his job, and he worries he won't be able to support his family. Every morning, Bob opens his eyes and wonders how much he's going to hurt that day. He eases himself from the bed and waits for the waves of pain to hit and subside. His first stop is the kitchen cabinet that holds his medication. He takes enough to get him through the day. Until the meds kick in, even playing with his dog is out of the question. It's just too painful. He wants to put in a full day's work, but can't. He feels useless, anxious, and aggravated.
The pain is, while I'm working, it's not too bad. It's the next morning, that night, it starts really hurting, and the next morning, when these bone spurs shift around in there, it seems like they get in between, and when you step on that joint, it's much like stepping on a steak knife.
The first thing I noticed was him being achy a lot, waking up in the morning in pain.
He's a lot of pain. A lot of pain, and it has affected him a lot.
I want to take a hammer and hit my knees. So, well, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would I cause myself pain? And it's like you just want to be done with it. You're just so frustrated.
And when you're not happy being able to do the things you do every day, it depresses you, and that's natural. Nobody wants to be sick or hurting, and it was getting to be too much.
I do take medication daily, at least 3 times a day. If I really want it to stop hurting, I can take extra medication, but as the pain goes, so does the brain. You sit on the couch and watch some fool thing on TV and drool for a little while, because it's you just need that much medication to get rid of it. It has certainly affected my life to the point where I really don't have a life anymore.
He can do almost nothing.
If he didn't get the surgery, they told him that he would be close to being crippled in the next year, where he would not be able to walk, maybe in a wheelchair.
My grandfather was in a wheelchair, and I think that affects him on a constant basis, because he doesn't want to become as feeble as his father was.
It will completely destroy his personality, and who he is today?
I don't know. I guess that I'm getting too emotional here. I don't want to. I'm just tired of it all. That's about all I can say. The frustration.
Bob has seen a local doctor about the pain. The diagnosis? A double knee replacement. Bob contacted several hospitals in the Orlando area and was quoted prices of around $50,000 per knee. His insurance policy will only cover $10,000 per knee, leaving Bob to cover $80,000 on his own. This is simply more than he can afford, unless he takes out a second mortgage on a home that has been paid off for 30 years. Going to a local hospital would rob Bob and Linda of their well-earned retirement.
When I left the doctors and found out how much it was going to cost me, I really came up with the only conclusion at that moment was to refinance the house, and within 2 years' time I was going to be another $80,000 out of pocket.
I could see it in his face that he didn't know what to do. For the first time since I've known him for 40 years, he didn't have an answer. He didn't know what to do and he didn't have an answer. And if my husband doesn't have an answer to something, you know, I feel like, whoa, we're in trouble.
When I came home, I got on the computer, thank God for the World Wide Web, and started hunting things down and ran into a little link that said medical tourism, and of course that caught my interest, and I went and found a whole new world opened up for me, that there is a lot of places to go on the world that do a better job for a lot less money, anywhere from 75% to 90% cheaper than the United States.
Medical tourism is the growing industry of Americans leaving the United States to travel for more affordable and accessible medical and dental care. Not only can these tourists save up to 90% on the cost of their major surgery, they would receive equal and sometimes better care than they would in the States. The consulting firm Deloitte reported that in 2010, over 1.6 million Americans may leave the U.S. for medical tourism.
Medical tourism is almost inevitable. There will be a combination of three things. It'll be less expensive in some countries, and therefore you see this in Singapore, you see it in Tunisia, which is one of the great unstudied stories, where there's substantial European medical tourism to Tunisia today because it's so much less expensive than the European Union. The second is you're going to see medical tourism because of specialties. Somebody who's successful and wealthy is going to go to the best place in the world for their particular cancer or their particular transplant or their particular need. And you're going to see a third because of the rise of telemedicine. And you have all sorts of electronic interfaces. But I think telemedicine and teletourism, and rather medical tourism, are absolutely things to be studied and watched, and they're going to have a significant continuous evolutionary effect on the system.
A $50,000 knee replacement may cost only $10,000 outside of the U.S. A $100,000 heart procedure, $10,000. And a $400,000 liver transplant, as little as $50,000. In many cases, patients receive treatment from surgeons who are board certified in the U.S. or Europe, at hospitals affiliated with top U.S. educational institutions like Harvard Medical International or Johns Hopkins International. Medical tourism is more common than you might think. For years, Americans have traveled to countries such as Costa Rica, Mexico, Korea, India, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, El Salvador, Guatemala, Colombia, Panama, Argentina, Brazil, Spain, and Germany to undergo life-lengthening procedures.
When my dad brought up going to either India or Costa Rica, I think there was one more he talked about, to get the knee surgery, I was not ecstatic. I was very concerned.
I'm probably very scared.
I thought he was out of his mind.
Someplace being far away where his doctor's not near. That worries me more than anything.
You know, are they going to take care of you? Is it some rinky-dink thing? Is it a scam?
The American Medical Association and the American College of Surgeons recently released medical tourism guidelines, a walkthrough for U.S. insurance companies and employers who would like to offer medical tourism to their employees. These guidelines provide common sense recommendations for patients to research before they travel, such as transparency, quality, and aftercare.
The American Medical Association has always had a policy of pluralism in healthcare. We believe that patients should have lots of choices. So it is perfectly consistent for some patients to choose to travel overseas for their care and for others to come here for their care.
Bob has thoroughly researched medical tourism and is intrigued. While he's excited about saving money and traveling to an exotic locale, he knows he'll have to get Linda and the rest of his family on board with the plan. Since this is Bob's first trip out of the U.S., he needed a passport and other travel documents.
As Bob's comfort level began to come more concrete, so did Crystal's comfort level.
When Bob told me that he was going to go overseas abroad for a surgery, I was exhilarated because I knew he needed it, and I had heard about stuff like that. My own doctor had mentioned it.
I can tell you I've changed my mind at least 500 times a day as to whether I should get this done or not. Is it that bad? Do I really have to do it? And then the next day when you're hurting so bad, you say, yes, of course. But then you get a good day and a bad day, and you're always in inner turmoil as to whether it's the right decision.
Bob decided to book his procedure with a surgeon in Costa Rica. Cost was a big factor in his decision. He knows he needs to rest and prepare for tomorrow's long journey, but the unknown makes sleep hard to come by.
I am going to be with him in thought and in love, and I'm not going to leave his side until he's all right.
I would just tell him that I love him, and I'm nervous for him, but I think he will do good.
We're going to miss you. We're going to take care of your house. When Linda gets back, we're going to definitely take care of her.
We're all rooting for him, and he'll be just fine. And we'll see him in a couple weeks.
We're gonna miss you, Pepe, and I can't wait to hug you when you get back.
I want to tell him good luck and, that I love him.
I want to see Pepe at his house. Get home.
The reality of Bob's ever-worsening condition and the decision he has made is starting to weigh heavily on his mind. Linda has been a rock of support and confidence thus far, so he will keep his fears and his second thoughts to himself. Bob chose to go for surgery in Costa Rica because of the cost, but also because he researched and found out that Costa Rica was rated as having a healthcare system that performs better than the U.S. healthcare system by the World Health Organization. Bob is traveling to Hospital Clínica Bíblica, one of the top accredited hospitals in Latin America. There are many hospitals around the world that are staffed with experienced, talented surgeons and are known for providing exceptional service and outcomes. They hold international accreditations and subscribe to similar standards as U.S. hospitals. In fact, some patients receive the same brand of FDA-approved drugs, medical supplies, and implant products that they would get from their local hospital.
I will have to say, when we got in the hospital, they were expecting us. They had all their ducks in a row. They were waiting to do what had to be done. Okay.
Can I see your ID, please?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Florida's driver's license.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's Nina. Okay, Mr. Robert.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Please come with him to take your blood samples.
Okay. My actual blood work, I think, was probably 12 minutes from the time I walked in the hospital till the time it was finished. That was very good. Good job.
Thank you.
We went into the X-ray room. The technology is phenomenal. He took the X-rays. I had to go take off my little gown and put my pants back on, which probably took a minute and a half. And as I came out of the room, He was processing the x-rays, already had them on the computer. They had been fed into the machine, and he actually was printing out the film. A doctor waiting for me. That's a new one. When I went to get my physical, the doctor was actually waiting for me.
Okay, I'll send my report to Dr. Oeding so he knows all your medical information.
Okay, I think
maybe this afternoon. Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, have a nice day here.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Yes, beautiful place.
The long day of traveling and doctor visits behind them, Bob and Linda check into the Intercontinental Presidente Hotel in San Jose, Costa Rica. This is where they'll stay before and shortly after Bob's surgery. A well-known hotel chain brings a sense of comfort and familiarity to traveling Americans, and, thanks to the booming medical tourism industry, many hotels have created serene, patient-appropriate environments that cater to convalescents. A medical tourism magazine survey found that 95% of patients and companions who travel to another country for medical care also participated in tourism activities such as sightseeing and shopping. This is an added benefit for many patients and their companions who otherwise can't afford to take a vacation abroad. Bob and Linda are taking full advantage of their time in Costa Rica by booking a pre-surgery rainforest canopy tour.
The best part of all this, I don't even think about tomorrow. I don't have time to worry about it.
Think about the snakes.
Okay. If I lock my knees, a lot of times it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. I love this good exercise.
Yeah, it depends. Oh, I see him there.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy, look at this.
Bob would have liked to spend the entire day touring attractions, but the persistent pain in his knees limited his time to just a few hours.
Oh, God.
We're high.
This is fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, yes.
He is reminded once again that his condition is causing him to live a half-life that will probably end in a wheelchair. The realization that the surgery will give him many more days of working and playing with his grandchildren banishes any negative, lingering thoughts about his decision. Bob is now headed to see Dr. Oeding at Hospital Clinica Biblica before his surgery.
The problem, Robert, is that this space that you have here, about 4 to 5 millimeters, it's the normal space. That space is not truly a space. That is filled up with cartilage, meniscus, and everything that we normally have on the knees. In the medial part, you have lost that. You are bone-to-bone contact here. The same problem, or even a little bit worse, on the left one. Okay, so we are prepared for tomorrow. Give me this. I'm gonna stay with this x-rays.
Your opinion on the x-rays. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 is normal, 10 is the worst that you've ever seen.
8.
8. Okay. Okay, so I do need this.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Just got to make sure.
Okay.
Very good.
See you tomorrow then.
Okay, and I'm
nice night.
you're going to keep me here, and I get drugs here, and you give me some pills when I go back.
Oh, sure. We're trying to use with our patients only FDA-approved medications.
Okay.
So the medications you're going to be using here are the same medications that
okay.
you will be taking.
I'd like a small pail full. Just fill it up, and I'll take that with me. That'll be good.
Okay, we will try to do that.
The United States is suffering from a shortage of doctors and nurses. More than a quarter of all doctors currently practicing in the U.S. are international medical graduates, and a large number of nurses obtain their training in American healthcare facilities. So to some degree, healthcare has already been outsourced in the United States. It follows that traveling outside the U.S. for top surgical treatment is a reasonable alternative. Dr. Oeding, one of the top orthopedic surgeons in Costa Rica, designates every Wednesday as Family Day. He sleeps in, has a leisurely breakfast with his wife and children, and sometimes drives them to school. He then heads to the indoor sports club to play racquetball with his friends for a few hours. While none of them are ready to turn pro anytime soon, This personal time rejuvenates Dr. Oetting and helps him serve his patients better.
We're gonna go home, get my tie on, and then I have a few minutes with my assistant back at the clinic before I start seeing my patients. It's incredible, you know, some people from the United States, they just can't imagine that the way we live outside the United States. I mean, at the beginning, they are impressed because they are able to talk to the surgeon. They usually come here with a lot of expectations, with a lot of fears. After they know the hospital, after they see the hospital, after they see how we work, it's incredible how the communication between doctor and patient can increase the patient outcome. One of the best things of this clinic, it's maybe this, the electronic files. At this moment, I think that we are the only hospital with this tool. It keeps all the information of our patients, not only the ones I see, but also the ones that every doctor sees. And it was very important for the Joint Commission accreditation to have this.
Bob is confident in his decision to have the surgery, but the idea of being on the operating table robs him of his sleep that night. He's still nervous on the way to the hospital the next morning.
I think I'm gonna puke.
No, you're not. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be waiting here. It's normal, honey, for you to have this. My God, you've been dealing with it for so long.
Okay, what's first?
Well, when he was walking into the hospital, he was so nervous and almost crying. There was tears in his eyes. And when I looked at him, he looked at me, and he looked as if he was just walking to the gallows for his last day on earth. And he kept walking and walking, and then all of a sudden I said to him, "Aren't those your nurses?" Because there was two nurses standing there. And they were so beautiful and so angel-like and such beautiful smiles, and they looked at him, and they just took a hold of him, and it changed his whole way of thinking. It turned it right around.
All right. You don't have to do any tests
that's good.
today, so we're going direct to admissions.
Okay, very good.
Please come with me.
Procedure.
Yes, dear.
¿No ha venido Lore todavía? Over here we're going to surgery. 3 hours.
Okay. If everything is okay, in about 3 hours, everything will be done. New knees, new life. Okay. This is gonna be an incision.
Wake up. Surgery's done, Bob.
Fortunately for Robert, everything was fine, everything was okay. We could replace both knees without much problems. Usually on any surgeries, we try to do it one way, but during the surgery, we may need to have some side steps, but in his case, everything was fine.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Everything was fine, everything went by the book. He's gonna be in the recovery room for about 2 hours more, and then he will be with you. Today he's gonna be sleepy. in and out,
Right.
maybe feeling some pain.
Right.
We're gonna do basically nothing else during the day. Just rest and try to recover from the surgery.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, we're gonna start with the physical therapy and all the active recovery phase of the surgery, okay?
Okay.
Hospital technicians administer pain medication and fluids to Bob as he recovers from surgery. Linda, relieved the procedure went well, doesn't leave her husband's side. Dr. Oding stops in to check on his patient's progress.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Robert, how are you?
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Very crowded.
Nice
You're
to
famous.
Yes, I am. Nice to see you.
Tell me, how has been these few hours after the surgery?
For the most part, very good. Most of the pain I've experienced has been what I was living with before. Only before it would come and go. Now it's kind of constant. And I understand I'm under the drugs. And
yes.
I just asked a few minutes ago if they could, it's starting to hurt again now. And
Please, you have a lot of medications already ordered in case of pain, so you have to tell them that you have pain,
I just did this.
and they will do something about it. You had a very good sleep this morning.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's okay. Sleep is always good.
Let me check there. Is this painful?
Yeah.
Already working your knee.
Yes, huh? Very good.
You don't look like a painful face.
It's,
I know, it's... You were expecting pain.
yes, maybe so.
Let me check the other ones. Okay. I don't know if you have noticed, the alignment of your knees has changed.
Did you straighten them?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. That's a bonus. You made my wife happy. She's been teasing me a long time about I'm getting bow-legged.
Yes, and every time that will be it's gonna be worse if we don't do the surgery because
Right. I never expected that. That's great.
that's a bonus.
Yes, it is.
We didn't talk about it
Yes.
yesterday, but yes, we did that.
Very good.
Okay, enjoy the rest of the night because tomorrow you got a work day.
Am I going to stand tomorrow?
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
as I told you
I
yesterday,
will if I have to.
I don't want to rush you.
Okay.
The first physical therapy is going to be only passive motion and some active exercises. If you feel that you can stand up, they will try.
Okay.
If you don't feel so, they will just try again in the afternoon. See you tomorrow then. It's been a pleasure.
It certainly has. I thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, my name is Nazareth. I'm the physical therapist.
Nazareth specializes in physical therapy for the medical tourism patients at Hospital Clinico Biblica. As Bob's therapist for the active recovery portion of his stay, she will meet with him twice a day for 3 days. They are on a tight deadline. Bob has to board a plane back to the States without assistance in just 17 days. This morning's goal is to loosen up the joints in his new knees and prepare the leg muscles to accommodate his body weight. Nazareth knows that if she can get Bob to stand on the first try, just 1 day after surgery, it will give him confidence to push through the pain and take his first steps.
Okay, did you sit down?
They're not quite touching.
One, two, and three. Up, boy. Stop. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Arriba, up. Perfecto. Ahora ponga la cara un poquito para abajo, ¿verdad? Stand up and relax. Are you dizzy?
No, not dizzy.
Feel pain?
Okay. Let me go. Let me go.
You're not gonna walk yet. No, just stand.
I just want to stand,
Okay.
just to say I'm up.
Okay, I need to straight up your head and your back, sir. Okay, are you dizzy? Ponga la cama abajo. ¿Ya la bajé? He's starting to shake a little bit.
Wow.
Are you dizzy? Okay, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Okay, the walker. Súbele la... Que lo puedo conectar todo.
Bob's morning therapy session was a success, but the afternoon session didn't go as smoothly. A visit from Dr. Oding puts things into perspective.
I'm doing pretty good.
I received very good news from the physical therapist.
Well, that's good. We had quite a session this morning. I did stand just for a few seconds, but I stood. And this afternoon when I tried, I couldn't quite make it. Too dizzy, got nauseous.
We are not on any rush. Do it when you want to do it, when you can do it.
Yeah.
And try to keep doing the exercises. You are now more patient from the physical therapist than my patient.
She's very nice. I like that girl.
Well, if you like that girl, it's bad news because you are supposed to hate her.
I'm supposed to hate her.
Okay.
No, I like her discipline, her demeanor, the way she put me in my place, and it was yes, ma'am.
That's good. That's good because you are supposed to hate her. She's the one that is going to make you feel pain.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 24 hours after Robert's surgery, he's doing quite well. Hemodynamically, he's doing great, already stood up. Pain control is quite well also. He is already flexing more than 30 degrees, which is normal. And I think that tomorrow he's going to be able to stand up and try some steps.
Nazareth is growing increasingly concerned about Bob's confidence level. The acute pain makes him wonder if he'll ever walk again, which makes it difficult for him to focus on the task at hand. Nazareth knows he needs to recover one step at a time, literally. If she can get him to take just a few steps today, the failures of yesterday and the fears for tomorrow will be forgotten. Nazareth is optimistic about this session, but Linda knows her husband well. Another failed attempt could set him back emotionally for days.
Okay.
I want to know if you're dizzy.
I'm afraid to take a step, but I could stand like this for a while.
Okay, that's good. Next step. Put weight on that right leg.
Okay, I got it.
Move to left. Now. Very good. Very good. Okay, stay steady. Don't move.
This morning's therapy, this is day 2, and I was bound and determined to stand. And we all say, I don't care how much pain there is, I'm going to do it. The true pain is in the bending of the knee. Once they got me standing straight up, it's not too bad. Now, very wobbly on the knees, of course, and with the walker it's fine. I wound up taking 30 feet that I walked today, so that was pretty good. But it's a lot of pain, but it's just such an incredible improvement in one day from last night to today.
Linda was granted a leave of absence from work to travel and assist Bob in Costa Rica during his early therapy sessions, but her time has run out. She must leave and return to her job in Florida by Monday morning. Linda leaves her husband in a hospital bed, and Bob says goodbye to one of his major sources of support.
It's both bitter, sweet and bitter at the same time. I'm very pleased that she's going for the experience of her going herself to go home, and she needs some quiet time too. I am a little apprehensive as to how I'm going to get along without her.
I think Bob will do very well. He'll be anxious to get better, to walk. He's a little nervous about going to the hotel alone.
There's a certain security when you're with your partner. It's unspoken for the most part, especially after this many years. There we go.
See you in a week and a half.
I love you guys. I love you. Don't worry. It's be good.
Don't worry.
Bye, hon.
I feel sad that I'm going to leave him, of course, and just to make sure he's all right, and that's my biggest thing, just sad.
Another night passes, and following that, another day of hard work for Bob. Bob's own date of departure is approaching fast, and he needs to complete a rigorous therapy schedule in just 14 days. Dr. Oetting has done his job well. Now it's up to Bob to endure the necessary pain to get his knees functioning properly. Recovering from a double knee replacement requires patience, perseverance, and confidence. Bob must work to loosen his joints, gain strength in his muscles, and strive to walk farther and farther every day. There will be good days and bad days. Nazareth is there to alternately supply encouragement and tough love, as well as physical and emotional support.
I feel well enough that maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, maybe I'll get up and take a shower by myself.
Yeah.
It's quite a picture. We'll just grab that cloud and hang on.
Today is Bob's last day in the hospital. After he's discharged, he'll return to the hotel and embark on the next phase of recovery.
Good morning. Oh, wait a minute. No. You stay there.
Oh, you are showing off.
I'm showing off.
What about the walker? No walker!
What about the walk? I don't need no stinking walker. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you, impressed.
Yeah. I took a shower by myself this morning. And
Good.
I shaved and yeah.
This is great. How do you feel them? You feel them a little tight or?
Oh yeah, they're tight.
Okay,
but
okay.
I can walk pretty far. I can walk far. The bending is still tough, but it's getting much better. I can.
Wow.
If I sit and just, it takes a minute, but they go down by themselves, and they feel very good when they're down.
That's almost 90 degrees.
Yeah, I can do 90.
That's really good. Okay. One more reason to be sure that you are ready to go to the recovery center.
Very good, huh?
Look,
Nice.
great. I'm not only happy, but I am also impressed with your recovery.
You should be proud of yourself. You did such a good job.
Still some swelling?
Oh yes, the ankles are good. Yeah, I figured.
These usually are better in the early morning. When you wake up, the feet and everything looks almost normal.
Almost normal as you
and
walk
during the
around.
day,
Yeah.
as you walk around, they will get swollen a little bit. That's normal, and that will disappear in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
See you then.
Okay, I'll have a good day. You enjoy yourself.
Maybe today with going back to the hotel and everything, that will make you feel a little dizzy or increase the level of pain. That's normal.
Right.
Rest when you are there.
Yes.
And make them call me if you need anything, okay?
Okay. And when I check out, they have the prescriptions.
They will
have
everything for you, anti-inflammatory medications, painkiller, as I told you, the DVT prevention shots and everything.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Have a good day.
Well, I'm here to pick it up Bob. He's ready to go home, so I'm here to pick him up, take him to the hotel, and he's ready to go. Looks like his recuperation and everything has been doing very well, and well, we're ready to go with this.
After 5 days, the first half of Bob's recovery has come to end.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you.
Lewis returns to take him back to the Intercontinental Hotel, where he has just 13 days to complete his therapy. But he won't be alone. A private nurse from HomeWatch Caregivers will assist him with his daily activities and monitor his pain. And Nazareth will still be there to push him toward his goal of boarding his plane unassisted.
All right, that chair will be useless for a while. So will that. But at least we got a good high bed. That's going to help. I was a happier camper this morning. I think the drugs are wearing off. I don't know what it'd be like without drugs yet, so it's...
Bob looks at his hotel room through new eyes, those of a recovering patient. He must learn to control his discomfort in a different environment. This change might hinder his progress unless he can learn to deal with the inevitable pain he'll experience during this transition. Meanwhile, Nazareth instructs the home healthcare workers who will be taking care of Bob 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until it's time for him to go home.
Those days that he's going to be here with you to help me with the edema, because it's very normal, it's nice, I don't worry about it, but...
Edema is the black and blue?
No, it's
the water buildup.
the inflammation, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So he can help me, with that during those days.
Bob has just 8 days to rehabilitate his knees to the point where Nazareth and Dr. Oding feel comfortable letting him board the plane. It's important to push Bob as far along as they can in their presence to ensure his new knees reach their full potential. Once he leaves Costa Rica, it will be solely up to Bob to continue his physical therapy. Should he slack off in any way, he could put the complete use of his knees in jeopardy. "3 days until departure, Bob has made amazing progress in just a short time, but he needs to overcome the psychological barriers that keep him from pushing himself to the limit. His persistent pain, while necessary for healing, has left him very fearful of stairs and other obstacles he will encounter in everyday life. Bob must conquer his biggest fear, a flight of concrete stairs. Nazareth repeatedly assures him that he can do this, but his anxieties crowd out her words. She gently corrects his gait as he ascends. Any cheating at this point on his part will evolve into bad walking habits later.
Tráigame el cinturón.
Yeah.
Tráigame el cinturón para sostenerlo. We are in a fight. You are in one corner,
Yeah.
and the stairs are in the other corner.
Yeah. Don't ring the bell.
Lo ataja, ¿verdad? You catch him. All right.
No, if we're gonna go down, I want him up in front of me.
You trust me.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon, I can't. If I lose my balance, you are not
I'm
gonna catch me.
responsible for you. If you lose your balance.
I don't care whose responsibility it is, I'm gonna...
Sorry, sir. I'm responsible for you. I'm going in front of you. Okay? Period.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vamos. See, I wouldn't have argued with you if I knew you had a belt like this. Well, now, see,
I love when you fight. Don't worry.
Well, I thought you were going to be in front of me, and if I fell, you're not going to hold me.
I'm gonna be in front of you.
Bob is rattled by the intensity of today's therapy session.
Okay, wait. I didn't do that right.
Walking to the top was agonizing, and now he has to maneuver his way all the way back down. The only thing that pushes him through this grueling task is the knowledge that when he gets to the bottom, he's done with the stairs. But Nazareth has other plans.
You feel weak?
Bob, in the midst of an uneasy cycle, he'll stop being afraid of the stairs once he conquers the stairs. But first he must conquer the stairs.
What do I know? I don't know anything. You know it all.
So let's go up.
Ah, Jesus. There's got to be something else we can do. Okay, halfway.
No.
Come on, you gotta give a little.
All the way. And the next one.
Oh, no.
So we take the elevator.
Okay, I'll do
Okay.
that. Because it's better going up. You gotta make bargains.
Ajá, pero...
Llevarla, porque él está ahí, tiene que entrar por día y va a hacer horas después hasta que sale.
You're saved by the bell.
Yeah.
You're saved
Good.
by the bell.
Came down from the surgery, just wanted to take out the stitches.
The doctor, my angel, my salvation, he called, he said he got out of surgery early, he can take my stitches out now, so we have to leave. Unfortunately, I can't finish my therapy today. I'm heartbroken about it. Okay, where are we going?
Bob's unwillingness to at least try the steps a second time concerns Nazareth. They only have a few days left, and he should be further along in his rehabilitation. His knees might be up for the job, but his mind isn't quite there yet. She needs to help him rediscover faith in himself so he can approach his remaining therapy sessions with courage and tenacity. Today is Bob's last day of therapy. Nazareth needs to be convinced Bob is ready for the real world. She has one more surprise for him, but he probably won't like it. Even so, he must pass this one last test before he gets the okay to go home tomorrow.
Now, my idea now from this point, I'm not going to insist more in workout or how about if we go to the streets and we just do normal walking, see how you react with holes, with, different surface.
Okay.
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 Heel and toe, especially because now you're going to find a lot of different surfaces here. We still having problems with the back of the muscles here. Can't pick it up, can't do this. So that's because it's weak, still weak.
It's pushing me off.
Let's go through all that mess.
Well, you gotta walk around, you can't. It's a construction site, safety first, you walk around.
Watch out, there's water.
Yeah.
Real life. Go around here.
We should find other obstacles. It's just not good sense to walk through a construction. I work construction. They don't want nobody there. You walk around them. It just makes good sense.
Bob, come.
We can find other obstacles without disturbing these guys.
Un momentito. Okay, let's go that way.
You sure you don't want me to walk through there, huh?
Gracias. That's noise down that way, and we're gonna go up.
Okay.
How you're doing. I'm still concerned about the steps, especially when you go down.
Like I said, the stairs, I know I can, but God, I'm afraid of them because it hurts so damn much. You want me to go down the stairs, don't you?
Oh, yeah, but you can just grab the...
Wait.
Which one is the bed?
See, I'm comfortable. You know what? It's because of this. I'm comfortable here. Turn that one that way, and I know it's not right. It's not the proper way.
Okay.
But I can certainly do it like that with very little pain and no fear. Let me try and straighten it. It's harder. Because now I gotta pick it up.
Well, you graduate.
You graduate. My professor, my teacher.
You graduate. You're done.
Before a patient travels for medical care, it's crucial to have a plan in place for aftercare once they return to the States. Patients must work with their primary physician to develop a treatment plan so that rehabilitation continues seamlessly. The hardest part of Bob's journey is now behind him, but there is still much work to do. He will continue his therapy every day. He doesn't want to dishonor the time and energy Dr. Oetting and Nazareth invested in him.
Okay. You want to go with the good one? We have daily crossed upon new thresholds of pain always in my best interest, whether I wanted to or not. She knew her job very well. She put me through the paces that needed to be gone through in the short amount of time that we were here. She told me pretty much what to expect in the future, what I've got to do to get there, and I will be seeking more assistance when I get home. The rest is going to be on me, and it's my own fortitude that is going to have to prevail. I'm going to have to push all the way through and without stop if I want to get back to as good as I can be. This whole experience has quite honestly been the worst, best time I've ever had. It was a great experience, a hell of an adventure. I hope this brings us closer together as we should be, and that the rest of our life will move in a more positive direction. These change of life moments that we all have are important, and we have to take hold of those. When the seed is planted, water it and nurture it, and hope it all works out for the best.
A recent patient survey by the Medical Tourism Association and the Medical Tourism magazine revealed why those Americans choose to travel abroad for healthcare. 70% rated their hospital as excellent. 85% said they received more personal attention than in a U.S. facility. 92% said they would recommend medical tourism to a loved one. 90% said they would travel internationally for medical care again. Several U.S. insurance companies are now offering complication insurance to patients, insurance companies, and employers. This insurance will cover the costs of complications that occur at the international hospital or at an American hospital after the patient returns home. Several U.S. health insurance companies and employers are adding medical tourism to their list of options. They're also offering a host of incentives, such as waiving deductibles and co-insurance and paying for lodging and airfare. For some Americans with higher deductibles, this could save them anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. Some companies are even reimbursing employees a percentage of the savings, giving them a few extra weeks of paid vacation, or offering cash outright to go abroad for their procedures. Some of the largest U.S. health insurance carriers have implemented medical tourism. Aetna greenlighted a pilot project that allows employees of Hannaford Brothers, a large supermarket chain headquartered in Maine, to travel to Asia for medical care. In exchange, they had their deductibles and co-insurance waived. WellPoint BCBS is one of several Blue Cross Blue Shield branches that has also implemented medical tourism and the option to travel internationally for healthcare.
The future now looks very good. The medication I've got is well enough to keep things under control. My mom is here to help me with the regimen of ice and exercise that we have planned. Each week should just get better and better and better. Able to finally start turning my mind toward future finances, what I'm going to do for work and how we're going to get through that. But it was more important to reach this stage of mental security in order for me to carry on to the next step. All in all, well worth the time and effort and money. Again, to have stayed home and gone through this, I wouldn't have got this type of care for sure because I couldn't afford it.